about loss, they get very, very excited, much more excited than they logically should be. And when you get something free, as Amy said, there's no loss, apparently. And that's why people go crazy. They become irrational when they're offered something for free. So we're going to use that tendency. And let me give you some exciting research from this book, Predictably Irrational, by a fantastic guy called Dan Ariely. So am I on tape right now?
Yes.
Okay. So hi Dan, if you're seeing this, then you know who's responsible for the spurt in your book sales in India. Okay. This is a fantastic book. It's a real eye-opener. It's very difficult to put it down because it tells you why human beings are not just irrational, they're predictably irrational. And one of the reasons for that is they get influenced by something that's free. Okay, so let me take two examples of the research that's in this book. A huge number of people were offered a chance to buy just one chocolate, okay, or one group of chocolates. The first one was Lindt. How many of you have heard of Lindt? Okay, so Lindt is expensive. It's a premium chocolate brand. By and large, plenty of people think that it tastes better and it's a better chocolate to buy, by and large. And Hershey's Kiss. But how many of you have heard of Hershey's Kiss? Okay, so these chocolates are good, but they're not perceived by most people to be anything special. So people could either buy this or they could buy this. And look at the prices. This was for 15 cents. And Hershey's Kisses were for just 1 cent. Okay, so it's 15 times more, 1,500% more in terms of price. As I said, the perception is that this is tastier and better and all that. So, what do you think was the response? What did the majority of the people buy? How many of you think they bought Lindt?
Buy or for free?
Buy. You can buy only one of these. You can either buy Lindt for 15 cents or you can buy Kiss for 1 cent. You can't buy both of them. Okay, that's the experiment or the setting. Okay, so sorry.
I think the other one.
Okay, you think the other one. How many of you think that the majority would buy Lindt? Okay, and how many of you think the majority would buy Hershey's Kiss? Okay. Now the real I think the reason that's happened is that both these brands are not that well known in India. That's the reason I think that we have this kind of dichotomy. But
also because I would look at who's buying, who's the person buying. If parents would buy, they would rather buy 15 chocolates. They can keep the children happy for 15 days. And if I would buy massive chocolates.
That's a good observation, which allows me to say that these tests are conducted with a large number of people, and there is a lot of stress to see that there is no bias towards a particular group. So it won't be like too many parents or something like that, so where their decisions could be affected by those factors. Okay, so what actually happened is about roughly 70% of the people bought Lindt. Okay, now that's pretty rational considering that most of them were convinced that Lindt is better tasting and all that. Now, let's just assume that's rational. Okay. What if both the prices were dropped by 1 cent? So, this is 14 cents and this is 0 cents, and the conditions remain the same. You can take or buy only one. You're buying this with 0 cents and you're buying this for 14 cents. The relative value has remained the same. If you pay 14 cents, you're still paying 14 cents more for Lindt compared to Kiss. So previously it was roughly 70 versus 30. What do you think changes, or do you think there's a change at all? How many of you think there's no change? Because that's a rational thing, right? Okay, none of you. So all of you read the book. Okay, so what do you think the percentage of people who bought or took, KISS is
80%.
80%. Okay, the people are not that irrational. It's roughly the reverse. It's roughly 30% here and roughly 70% here. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's completely irrational. You were willing to pay 14 cents more for lint, and nothing's changed. Practically nothing's changed. But just because that's free, people have stopped making those rational calculations and just jump. It just doesn't make sense. It's completely irrational, but that's the way human beings are, and they're predictable. So let me give you another example, and the last example, which is even more shocking because it's less subjective than this one. Somebody can argue that Hershey's is a better brand than Lindt, and we can't do anything about it because that's his perception. But here's another one. And this company exists in India. Amazon. Okay, so Amazon, you could buy a voucher of Amazon, which would allow you to buy $20 worth of stuff on Amazon. You could buy it for $8. Okay, so you go and pay $8 to some guy standing in the stall, and he gives you an Amazon voucher for $20. So the net benefit to you is $12. So obviously it's a good deal. You want to do it. Versus that, there's another stall or another person who is offering you a $10 voucher and he's charging you only $1 for it. So your net benefit is $9. So obviously here your net benefit is $12 versus that your net benefit for the second option is $9. So it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense for you to go for the second option. So you would agree with me that's completely irrational. Anybody who thinks that this should not have happened? Yeah, it's actually third standard maths, right?
But I would buy two $10 two units and it would be really better.
Yeah, but Dan really is a smart guy, so he allows you to do it only once.
But still my percentage will benefit more because
Percentages,
the number might look 12 is bigger, but my brain says only go for one because you get better percentage wise.
Okay, so she's either irrational or super rational, depending on how you look at it. But I think this is pretty rational because here you're getting a benefit of $10 and this is $9. And but you may want to calculate the percentage return, but the absolute amounts do not justify, in my view, that kind of calculation. Okay, so now you can guess what's the change we're going to make here. Yes, reduce the price of both by $1. So this becomes $7. The voucher value remains the same. So your benefit increases, $13 now. And somehow that's not so popular. Why? Because the other one's gone to zero. So your net benefit has actually gone up and the response has changed. It just doesn't make any sense. But just because it's free, that's it. It's hijacks people's logic, it hijacks people's mathematical abilities. And they're like the rats chasing a White Piper. Okay, so